Yes, yes. All right, so 100 videos in 100 days. Why should you subscribe to this page and why should you pay attention to these 100 videos? My name is Eddie Tranzcendent, and I'm on a mission to do 100 videos in 100 days. And this is video number 2. And what I want to do with this video is that, as I get started on this whole mission, I want to make sure that you guys know who I am, right? But only to a certain extent, right? Because the idea is that with these videos, you get to know me more and learn more about what it is that I do and what I aspire to do with my life. And so I think that with this being video number 2, I wanted to kind of share a little more about who I am and kind of allow you to have a foundation and a foundational thought of who I am and why it is that perhaps you should consider engaging with this content, with my content, right? And so I'll start at the very beginning, right? I'm from a small city, well, the biggest city in Connecticut. So a big city in a small state of Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and this is where I was born and raised. After high school, I joined the military, and so I was in the Army for 3 years and 20 weeks. And in that time, I lived in Louisiana, and I did one tour overseas. After doing all that, I kind of came back home. I left the Army, came back home, and kind of just started to taste things, right? Because I really wanted to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be? The military was great. I learned a lot there, but what's that next step for me, right? And so coming back home. I did a few different jobs here and there, and got some certifications here and there, and it all kind of led me to a job with the state of Connecticut. And so I started working with the state of Connecticut for a few years, and it was when I was doing that job that I started to feel like it wasn't enough, like what I was doing. It wasn't where I was meant to be, right? And I started to feel like, like there's got to be something bigger out there for me. Like this is great, and it's good money, and it's a great job, and great benefits. But I just felt like, oh man, like there was something missing. And so about 6 years ago, almost, it'll be 6 years next month. I took a leap of faith and I quit that job with the state of Connecticut, and a great job security, and I went on a mission or on a journey of really discovering who I was, who was Eddie, and what is it that I was meant to do here with my time here on Earth, right? And so I went on this journey, and the journey really took me to different places and really taught me a lot about myself. And that's part of what I want to talk about, with these next 100 videos and beyond, right? I want to talk about those things that I learned and the things that I think are important for other people to hear, right? Because as I went through this journey, I learned things that I kind of wish somebody else would have taught me, right? And so my idea is that maybe through my journey, I can then teach you guys some of the things that I learned about life, about personal development, and about all the different ways that you can really work on yourself, right? And so through my journey, I ended up doing a lot of community work. I really fell in love with doing community work and volunteer work. That was a passion that I found through that journey. But I also found the passion of the microphone. Like I found the passion of speaking and of inspiring folks through my talk and through my speeches on inspiration, and it all kind of stems from the things that I've done, right? And so through that journey, after quitting my job 6 years ago, again I started to learn a lot of different things, and I really started to come to an understanding with what life really was. And what I understood was that in life, we're all given a gift, right? At birth. So at birth, we're all given a gift, and that gift kind of opens the doors up to our purpose. Now, my understanding is that purpose for everyone is the same, right? Like the purpose for everyone is to give back, right? Like you're given life, you're given the opportunity to live life, and we have to pay it back by giving something back. But now, what do we give? And so that thing that we give back, we find through our gift. But that gift that we have is something that's not given to us. It's something that we have to actually discover, right? Because the whole idea is that if someone gives you that gift, then you kind of like take it for granted. It's like anything in life, right? When people give you things, you don't tend to cherish it as much as when you buy it, right? If you buy something, you're like, oh, I bought that. Like I paid money for that thing. This is my thing. Like you're not gonna take it away. But when somebody gives it to you, you tend to not really like cherish it as much. And so it's like it's one of those things that we teach our kids, right? Like we teach them to earn things because when they earn it, it tends to last them longer, right? They cherish it more, right? Or like if they want to learn something new, you don't just give them the answers, right? You explain to them how to arrive at that answer, because the idea is that if they learn how to arrive at the answer, then they really learn how to fix that problem, as opposed to just giving them the answer, right? And so what I found was that we all have a gift, but that gift, we have to go out there and we have to discover it, right? And I'm very intentional in when I say discover, because I don't like to say find. I think often, even I have in the beginning of my journey, I use the word find a lot. I would say I'm trying to find my purpose. I'm trying to find myself. But there's nothing really to find, because you're not lost. You're here. You're all inside. Everything that you need is inside of you. And so because everything that you need is inside of you, you don't have to go find it. You discover it. And you discover it by just working on yourself and doing more things that attract those things that you're supposed to have to you. And so your gift, your purpose, all those things that you want in life are attracted to you once you start working on you, right? So it all stems from you, from the inside out, right? And so in my journey, again, I found that the gift is important, because the gift then opens the door to the purpose. And so for me personally, I found that my gift was kind of like the gift of gab, which you guys are listening to right now. That's my gift of talking, right? Of really inspiring people to my talk, right? And so I take my stories and the things that I've learned, and I talk about them with the idea being that I could then inspire others to work on themselves and on their gift and on their purpose, right? And so I found that was my gift. But then I was like, wait, well, so if that's my gift, then what's the purpose? What do I give back? Well, what I give back is that inspiration, and I do it through my speaking. And so my gift is just the gift to be able to speak. My voice, I have a voice that even when I try to talk a little low, it still kind of travels, right? Like even if I speak like this, or even when I whisper, you can still hear it, because it really travels, right? And so that's my gift. And so what do I do with that gift? I could just be loud and obnoxious and annoy people, or I can inspire people, right? And so what I was able to do was that I found that I had that gift, and now I'm going to use it to inspire people, and to inspire people in the masses, right? And so I'm still very early in my career, but I aspire to be able to inspire hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people with my inspiration. And so the reason why is inspiration is because there's a very big there's a big difference between inspiration and motivation. And I think that might be a good idea for one of the videos, but I think that I'll touch upon it real quick, just because it's on my mind. And I think that it's very important to understand that motivation and inspiration are two different things. Motivation is external, right? Motivation comes and goes. Motivation has an expiration date, right? When you get motivated for something, it's good at the moment when you get motivated, but then it kind of goes away a little bit, right? And you have to get refueled, right? You have to get remotivated again. You have to hear that song again, or you have to take another energy drink to get more of that again, right? And so that's what motivation is. Motivation is like an energy drink that you need more of, right? Because after a while, you kind of like you hit that low, right? And so motivation is external, and motivation expires. Inspiration comes from inside. It comes from in your spirit. That's inspiration, right? And so because it comes from inside, there's no need to really go find it. And that's why when I say that you don't have to go find yourself, that's why, because there's nothing to find. Everything that you need is inside. So rather than finding, you're discovering. And so inspiration comes from within. And so when you're inspired to do something, when you're inspired to live life in a purposeful way, then that comes from the inside. It comes from who you are. It comes from that gut feeling. And so inspiration is it's not necessarily more important than motivation, but it's what comes first, right? And so for me, like I wake up at 3 a.m. every day. That comes from inside. I wake up automatically. The alarm could be set or not, but 7 times out of 10 I wake up, automatically. And so that comes from the inside. And so my inspiration wakes me up my motivation gets me going, right? So my inspiration wakes me up. Then when I'm in the gym, I throw on the headphones and I'm working out and whatnot. And so that's the motivation, right? And so that's the difference between inspiration and motivation. And the reason why I chose to inspire people is because I want folks to really think about and really work on themselves from the inside out, because that's where you see true change. True change comes from your inside. Everything else is temporary, but from the inside, that's that true change that we want to see in order to become the best version of ourselves. Life is lived best when you live in purpose, on purpose, and you can only do that if you're really inspired to live the life that you're meant to live. And so I say all that to kind of just say that that's who I am, and that's how I kind of got to where I am today. Excuse me. Now, of course, there is a lot more to me that I would love to talk about through these next 100 videos, or actually 98 videos. But that just gives you a sense of who I am and what it is that I bring to the table. On these videos, I will be talking about, I'll be talking more about that. I'll be talking about more, the military things that I've done. I'll be going more in depth on the coaching and how you can work on yourself better on the personal development aspect of things. I'll be talking about that, but I'll also be talking about things that are happening in my life. I'm going to be a father of my first daughter here in the next few months, and so I look forward to talking to you guys about that and that journey, right? How that journey has been leading up to the day where my wife gives birth, right? And so that's what is coming, and I hope that this quick little synopsis on who I am and what it is that I bring to the table really inspires you, right? It inspires you to hit subscribe and to watch the next 100 videos. Guys, listen, I don't want to take too much of your time on this Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way this far, if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you subscribe to my page and hit that like button. And I look forward to talking to you for the next 98 days and beyond. Guys, take it easy and don't forget, be transcendent.